The year is 2025. We stand at a crossroads of history. The COVID-19 pandemic has reshaped our world. Its impact is undeniable, leaving scars on our societies, economies, and very way of life. But what if, in an alternate timeline, this global crisis had been averted? What if the virus had been contained at its source, never breaching the borders of China? Imagine a world untouched by lockdowns, social distancing, and the constant fear of a deadly virus. This is the story of that world. Our reality is marked by masks, social distancing, and the ever-present threat of infection. We have witnessed firsthand the devastating consequences of a global pandemic. The economic fallout, the political tensions, and the social isolation have left an indelible mark. But in this alternate reality, life continued without the shadow of COVID-19. How different would our world be? Let us explore this intriguing possibility. In this alternate 2020, the first alarm bells sound in Wuhan, China. A cluster of pneumonia-like cases linked to a novel coronavirus emerges. However, unlike our reality, the Chinese government responds swiftly and decisively. Stringent lockdown measures are imposed in Wuhan and surrounding areas. The movement of people is restricted. Contact tracing and testing are implemented on a massive scale. The world watches with a mix of apprehension and cautious optimism. The aggressive measures prove effective. The virus is contained within the Hubei province. The world breathes a sigh of relief. China emerges from the crisis with its reputation enhanced, hailed for its swift and effective response. The world has dodged a bullet, or so it seems, but the averted pandemic has far-reaching consequences, shaping the geopolitical landscape in unforeseen ways. Without the shadow of COVID-19, China's global standing is significantly different. The successful containment of the virus bolsters China's image as a responsible global power. The World Health Organization praises China's transparency and efficiency. The United States, grappling with its own internal challenges, finds its criticisms of China's initial handling of the outbreak muted. The narrative of a China-centric pandemic never takes hold. Accusations of a lab leak are absent. The blame game that characterized our reality is avoided. This leads to a more stable and cooperative relationship between China and the United States. Global leadership initiatives continue uninterrupted, fostering international collaboration on issues like climate change and trade. The global economy in this alternate 2025 hums along without the shock of COVID-19 lockdowns. Stock markets remain stable, reflecting steady economic growth. The unprecedented stimulus packages that defined our reality are unnecessary. Businesses operate without the disruptions of lockdowns and supply chain bottlenecks. The remote work revolution, while present, is not as widespread. The need for virtual communication tools and online collaboration platforms is less urgent. The healthcare industry continues its pre-pandemic trajectory without the overwhelming burden of a global health crisis. The economic landscape is one of steady growth and stability, a stark contrast to the volatility and uncertainty that marked our reality. Section 5. Military Might and Global Power. The Unseen Consequences. The absence of a global pandemic has significant implications for military strategy and the balance of power. The United States, without the pressing need to address a global health crisis, maintains its focus on traditional military conflicts and strategic objectives. China, meanwhile, continues its military modernization and expansion, capitalizing on its enhanced global standing. The power balance, while not drastically altered, subtly shifts in China's favor. The United States, though still a dominant military power, faces a more assertive and influential China on the world stage. The dynamics of this relationship, shaped by the absence of a global pandemic, have far-reaching implications for international relations and global security. Section 6. The social fabric, intact and vibrant. In a world untouched by COVID-19, the social fabric remains intact. The Great Resignation never materializes. People continue in their jobs, their careers progressing without the disruptions of lockdowns and remote work mandates. The travel and tourism industry thrives, with people free to explore the world without fear of infection. Misinformation, while still present, does not spread with the same ferocity. The absence of a global health crisis reduces the urgency and fear that often fuel the spread of false information. Social media platforms, while still grappling with issues of misinformation, face less pressure to police pandemic-related content. Section 7, Echoes in the Future, Lessons Unlearned. This alternate 2025 presents a world shaped by the absence of a global pandemic. But the question remains, have we learned from a crisis that never happened? Without the stark reminder of our vulnerability to infectious diseases, would we be as prepared for future pandemics? Would the urgency to invest in public health infrastructure and global health security be as strong? The pace of technological development, particularly in fields like telemedicine and online education, might not have accelerated at the same rate. The pandemic, for all its devastation, forced us to innovate and adapt. Without this impetus, would we have made the same strides in these areas? The COVID-free world, while seemingly idyllic, raises questions about our preparedness and resilience in the face of future challenges. Section 8. Conclusion: A universe of possibilities. As we contemplate this alternate reality, we are reminded of the interconnectedness of our world. Even a seemingly isolated event like the emergence of a virus in a distant market can have ripple effects that touch every corner of the globe. The COVID-19 pandemic, in both its presence and its hypothetical absence, highlights the fragility of our systems and the importance of global cooperation. The universe is a vast and complex place, full of infinite possibilities. While we can only speculate about what might have been, exploring these alternate realities can teach us valuable lessons about our own world. By understanding the potential consequences of our actions, both taken and not taken, we can strive to create a future that is more resilient, equitable, and prepared for whatever challenges lie ahead.